Welcome to the 2010 PaddyPowerPoker.com Irish Open from the Burlington Hotel in Dublin. It's the oldest poker tournament in Europe and certainly the most respected. 708 players are making their way through Dublin to the holy grail of poker for a share in the €2.2 million prize pool. They've come from as far away as the USA, Canada, Israel, Australia, South Africa, and the rest of Europe, and even further afield. Limerick. No, that's not Jesse. Here he is.
Well, you can hear the hum in the background because this year's Irish Open is about to begin. But what we thought we'd do, we've brought back last year's champion, Christer Johansson, and last year's runner-up, Cara Scott, to recreate the pivotal hand in your heads-up.
Raise.
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 To 575,000. All in.
I call.
Call.
I know you hate to relive this hand, don't you?
I do, but the honest truth is I had not played very much heads up at that point in my career, and I knew that Christer was a better player, so I was trying to play quite fast because I figured that's a lot of where my edge would come, was really gambling a little bit and seeing what I could get, because I didn't want to play down the streets with them.
Right, it was only like the 13th hand of heads up. You'd already lost a few chips and then gained some back. So you raised before the flop, didn't you?
Absolutely. I mean, and I would do the same now. That's a perfectly standard hand to raise pre-flop with, definitely.
And then, Christer, you called with King 3 thinking...
Well, King High is pretty good, usually, and I like to see a flop with it.
So the flop came down, what was it, King Jack 7, I think. And
Yes.
you checked.
I checked that.
And then, Cara, you put about 175,000 in?
Yeah, you know, continuation bet. I'd also hit middle pair there, which is probably pretty good. And I'd heard, you know, heads up, middle pair is pretty good. Not this time. This time, maybe I wouldn't. If he hasn't hit that, he's probably going to fold, and it might be better to let him bluff at the next street so I could check behind. I also don't think he's going to bluff raise that flop now, knowing him as a player as I do. So if I do bet into it and he raises me, I think I can find a fold there. Can we do it again? Can I get the fold?
It's funny, though, but Christer, I mean, to be that strong with a king and no kicker, you must have realized that Cara was capable. Is that because you played with her on the final table all day?
Yeah, but I mean, it's a lot of draws out there also. I mean, there's a lot of straight possibilities and a flush draw, so I want to win the hand right away.
And when you check raise that flop to 575, are you're never folding at that stage?
Well, I would never say never, but wow.
You have learned.
Yeah, it was very tough call.
And I mean, do you think, Cara, that maybe now, if you would take it back, you say you were a little too aggressive and Christer just picked you off?
Yeah, definitely. And I think considering that he thought I was such an aggressive player, just shoving there was pretty bad anyways. You know, I could have just called as well and let him bet another street. If he was still behind, then, you know, I'd make more chips that way, get more value. I would play it a little differently now, yeah.
With the queen. The winner. An ace of diamonds, ladies and gentlemen.
You know, you can't buy what this event has. You can't buy the buzz about it. And, you know, I'm the kind of guy that needs a little bit of inspiration. I mean, you know, to get me really going. And this is certainly the tournament that does it. You know, I mean, coming home and playing in front of an Irish crowd and with Irish players, you know, it's like a dream, this. I mean, this is my favourite day of the year.
Probably my third or fourth time over the last decade, so yeah, always had good times. Not great results, but good fun, and end up being in the bar more often than not than at the table.
My hopes for this weekend are not to lose too much. Just usually have too much to drink in Ireland, and then you just sort of lose sense of what you're supposed to be doing. But it's a great place, great tournament, and meet lots of good friends here. So
yeah, another Irish Open here. Really looking forward to this one. Looks fantastic, bunch around the place. It's just hopping here now. Can't wait to get going, really.
My head is good. I've just been skiing for 9 days. So I've been doing high altitude training, which of course now, as all poker players know, is completely essential to have any chance.
Everybody's here to enjoy themselves, even though it's costing $3.5 grand. Most of them don't care. And a lot of them, nearly half of them, have qualified online, so it's not costing them any money. So it's going to be a big party for the weekend.
I always enjoy playing in this event every year. It's kind of one that people look forward to all year long, and it hasn't let down so far.
Can't wait. I mean, this is the best event in Europe by a mile, so I'm really hoping this is going to be the year.
I got really close last year to get in the money. I finished in 78 with 72, but it was really a great experience, and it's a fantastic event. I mean, I've never been to the World Series. I'd love to go one day, but this is like an Irishman's World Series, you know, so this is fantastic.
I really want to win this tournament, but I won't be too disappointed when I get knocked out. You can see the atmosphere here. There's always great crack around the bar and stuff. And this is like a bit of a stag weekend for me as well. I'm getting married next Thursday, so as soon as I get knocked out, I'll be on the Guinness for the rest of the weekend.
Everybody here cares, you know, the guys behind the desk out at the Burlington Hotel, I mean, they've all got an interest. You go and buy the paper, somebody's asking you how are you going to do today. I mean, there's just a unique buzz to this, and it's partly because of the history, and partly because, I mean, Irish poker is just the most fun you're ever going to have playing the game.
In seat number 1 from Germany, this is Torsten Knorr. He's from Berlin, has been playing poker for about 4.5 years. Seat number 2 tonight, he's a sole survivor. This is Gerard Martin from County Wexford. Not a full-time poker player, but perhaps he's going to be one. Seat number 3, big name on the European scene, had a lot of results on the European Poker Tour this year, Roberto Romanello. Seat number 4, a youngster, he's also a sole survivor, only 27 years old, looks about 18. This is Christopher Conlon. Another big London player. He's been far and wide. A lot of results over in Vegas. This is Joe Gresh. Originally from Russia, now from County Meath, this is Thomas Golesnius. And in seat number 7, there's a Dane on the table, 26-year-old Anders Rasmussen from Aarhus.
Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, a very warm welcome to the 2010 PaddyBarPoker.com Irish Open. As you can see, we're back in the Burlington, a great venue. There's going to be music and all sorts of crack in the bar every night, so we hope you really enjoy yourselves. And I just want to wish you all the very, very best of luck. I want to say my favourite few words now to the dealers. So when you're ready, could you please shuffle up and deal?
It is so exciting always when this Irish Open begins. 2010, and I'm pleased to be joined by Ross O'Mullane, who's been on the scene, Ross, for this Irish Open every year for the last 4 or 5 years.
Yes, this is my 6th Irish Open now, Jesse, and it's just getting better and better every year. I think we've got a really great event here at the Burlington this year.
Yeah, and the guy's so excited to come back to the Burlington Hotel. The last time I was at the Burlington, of course, Marty Smith was the winner, so it means a lot to him as well.
Yeah, I mean, Marty's hoping to do that again, I'm sure.
I think maybe, you know, everyone feels like, okay, the Irish Open is always going to be about 50% Irish players, but it is very international as far as the mix of Europeans that come as well.
Yeah, I mean, every year more and more people are coming from further afield. A couple of Yanks here as well, maybe less than in previous years, but all across Europe, and even going into Russia and Romania now as well. It's getting bigger and bigger.
So these 8 players on the table. One seat is got chips. It's sort of a dead stack. That will be filled by George McKeever. I think he's just arriving late, and he'll be a big name when he arrives here. I think we've got a raise here from Anders Rasmussen. And he, I don't know, you know, just you kind of see 26-year-old Dane from Aarhus. He reminds me, when I see him at the Irish Open, a guy like that, you think about Peter Eastgate, who, if you remember, the last time we were at the Burlington Hotel, Peter Eastgate made the final 2 tables.
Yeah.
And that was before he won the World Series of Poker main event.
Yeah, I mean, clearly this is a better event than the World Series of Poker, but it's great to get to go over to the States and show how hard the Irish Open is.
Exactly.